They got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems. I solve them. I run through the money. The pressure be calling. Left on my blessings. I feel like I'm falling. The birdie is back. Tell me I'm garbage. I'm going through something. That's why I ain't calling. Phone in progression. It's all that I wanted. The phone in affection. I summon and dub it. Cause they got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems. I solve them. I run through the money. The pressure be calling. Left on my blessings. I feel like I'm falling. The birdie is back. Tell me I'm garbage. I'm going through something. That's why.
You know what time it is. Actually, you don't, because usually I don't come on a Saturday. I'm usually here on a Friday, and it's usually Commanders Friday. But it is what it is. You're listening to the Urban Sports Scene, and welcome to our Washington Commanders versus Denver Broncos preview show. The Washington Commanders will be taking on the Broncos on Sunday Night Football. If you didn't know, prime time, another prime time game. I'm telling you, when I do all burgundy and gold everything, all burgundy and gold. Everything, I be exhausted on primetime games, bro. I will not lie to y'all. These primetime games have been kicking my butt. Like, and they bad now too. That's what makes it worse. I'm doing primetime games and this team ain't winning. That's what's blowing me too. But it is what it is. I'm gonna talk about that show tomorrow. We're gonna talk about that tomorrow on All Burgundy and Go everything. But before we dive into this game, we gotta knock out some logistics. Subscribe to our podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, and other podcast platforms. Just search the Urban Sports Scene. You can check out our website, which is theurbansportscene.com. Make sure to subscribe to the Urban Sports Scene YouTube channel. If you're in the YouTube chat, we accept super chats. Super chats help us support the show. The super chats will be prioritized over all comments within the chat. Don't forget to tweet us at Urban Sports Scene. Hit us up on IG and TikTok at Urban Sports Scene. Also like our Urban Sports Scene Facebook page. Also join our Urban Sports Scene Facebook group. Just search Urban Sports Scene, sports bloggers, sports podcasters, and sports debates. All right, let's get into our tradition. The pregame. Here's what we have on tap. Host of Sports Journeys, NotBland Show, Dujunnea Bland will join me to preview the Commanders' primetime game against the Denver Broncos. All right, I'm wasting any time. This guy's now leading Sports Journey. He is doing this thing, man. Like, he is basically director of content over there. This man he's special. He's a special guy right here, man. You got my guy Dujunnea. What's going on, Dujunnea?
What's going on, brother? How you doing?
How are you, man? You got a busy lifestyle now, man. You are now like basically running Sports Journey, man. How are you doing, bro?
Man, I'm doing good. It's fun, man. It's a lot of fun, and when you don't have no TV shows like I do, like I just watch sports, so it makes it easy. It makes it easy because that's all I do. So I'm having a good time over there, man, and I'm glad to be able to kind of take the mantle for the guy Lake and carry this torch and continue to carry this torch. So, man, it's been a blessing. Yeah, you're
doing an amazing job. Also, man, we both wrestling fans. So you gonna watch the Virus series tonight?
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it. Y'all know what it is, man. It's a big old let's see all the stars, pull all the stars out, and get this thing going because we don't know what else to do. AEW put on a hell of a show, and we got to pull out all the stars because that's what we do when we see AEW put on a great show.
I mean, I'm gonna be real. And everybody, if anybody knows, I love both brands. But if you had to tell me, I like probably WWE more. But I will say this though, like, isn't that a thing? I mean, AEW always puts out a good pay-per-view though. Like that's that's hard to match. They always put out a great pay-per-view. So I mean, to me, WWE should always try to be. If that's the case, they should always try to put their best game out there on pay-per-view.
I agree. To me, it ain't been that good since WrestleMania 41. We've had some moments, but
I agree.
It really hasn't been that good. And it's kind of I'm starting to feel like TKO is part of the problem.
I think it is. I think that's exactly what it is.
They're looking at money, man. Yeah, that's going to kill you in the long run. Yeah. It's really bad, and you're not even giving people like LA Knight and other people that are calling to come up, Mello. You're not giving them a fair chance, man. And then you just keep giving the same guys the title. And I think it's just a bad look.
I mean, hopefully, I'm with you. I think that, they just giving the older dudes, but it's funny. Like, and I'm not mad at it, right? I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not mad at it because it depends on who those guys are. But LA Knight deserves a chance. And plus, he's an older dude, but he deserves, because he's so over, right?
Yeah.
But then you're looking at, like, on AEW, when people were mad at Samoa Joe for getting the belt, I was like, okay, this Samoa Joe, like, he can have the belt.
Right, exactly.
He dope. Like, what are you doing here? Like, why are we complaining about this type of stuff? He dope. Like, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
All right, anyway, we could talk wrestling too. I know. Guy. But we're here to talk about the Commanders. So talk Commanders football. All right, so is out there, right? The Commanders are taking on the Denver Broncos. The Denver Broncos are one of the best teams in the NFL right now, playing great defense. They're going to have Patrick Surtain back for this game, but Washington also has a player coming back. The number one wide receiver, Terry McLaurin, looks like he's on track to play tomorrow night. For you, how can Washington maximize Terry's return tomorrow?
I think it starts with trying to get more creative by using Debo as a decoy. And that way it gives Terry one-on-ones. Because I think people underestimate Terry's ability to win one-on-one.
Facts.
You give him the right ball, he's going to make that play, man. And I think Terry's going to be out there with a little bit of chip on his shoulder. And I like a Terry with chip because he's just a different dude. And he's that guy that will he's not like AJ Brown, but that dude will go up and high point a ball. Yeah. He's got a chip on his shoulder. And I think he's got a little something to prove. And I think it's just going to really help out that offense tremendously. It takes away the double team from Debo Samuel. It'll give Jalen Lane a little bit more freer space to play in. And if they can just get the ball rolling on the run game, that other stuff's going to come together. Because I think Marcus is definitely okay. It has been quite serviceable when it comes down to throwing the ball. He's just had to force some things and try to make some things happen. Yeah. And that's kind of where this team's got in trouble.
Yeah, it's like you're putting I get your point. Like they're putting so much on Marcus Mariota to kind of carry the team when he's not carry the team, but you know what I mean? He's not Jaden Daniels, right? So you're asking him to be like this franchise quarterback. And to your point, that's not what you want from your backup quarterback. You don't need him to be the franchise quarterback. You're going to play a role, but having Terry back, I think is important. We saw a glimpse of it against against the Chiefs, right? Where he made big plays, and you're like, this is what we've been missing. You don't really notice it till you see a game like that, right? Yep. Because you see like Debo and see what Debo is bringing to the table. Debo has been a guy that I've liked. I think it's been a hit as a signing, in a trade. I think it's been a hit, but like you don't know. Like you missed this particular type of player until he's really gone, right? Because we always hear like, all right, somebody's been made, like somebody makes this wide receiver, somebody does this, that, and the other. But you forget how important he is to this team and this organization, because he's able to make, for a smaller dude, he's able to make those 50-50 catches. You know what I mean? He can make, he knows how to locate the deep ball, right? We all know he's a good route runner. So we know for this team and this unit, he is the deep threat. Which it really wasn't a thing last year. Last year it was like De'Ami Brown, right? But for this team this year, he is the deep threat. So it's good to have him back because he still has. People forget like he is still a fast individual. Just it's going to be dependent on how fast he can be coming back from that quad injury. But for Marcus is good. I'm speaking on the other. Which receivers does this really help? I know you mentioned Jalen Lane, but like will it help say like a Treylon Burks who's probably going to be back. He'll be playing. I believe he's going to be playing tomorrow as well. Will it help individuals like that? Will it make life easier for Debo Samuels?
I think it will. Again, they have to. It's going to be a twofold thing here. So Washington has to make it a point that they are going to be extending and trying to stretch the field with Terry. And then once they realize that's going to be a factor, that will free up everybody else, because now you can't slide coverage here or there. And I think that will give guys like Burks and Lane an opportunity to catch more balls one-on-one instead of in this traffic, because they're like, well, you're number two. Now Debo's your one now. Yeah. You're number two. We don't really give a damn about it.
True. No, it's a fact.
We're going to lock down everybody else, and we're going to make it. We'll take Debo beating us, but we also know Debo is not going to stretch the field type guy. So now you're kind of limited. And I think this kind of opens things back up. And I think it will open things back up for the running game as well, because now you have to respect those guys on the outside. And it's going to give some cleaner lanes for, whoever's at running back to be able to make some plays and kind of get more consistent run. Speaking
of the running game, I'm glad you touched on it. we saw like it's been a little difficult of late, especially if this team is featured Bill, and that's been a little struggle now of late. But we saw last year the identity was for this team. I know a lot of people get fixated on what Jaden did, but the identity was running the football with B-Rob, Eckler, even McNichols at times. So what do you think they need to do in this game against a solid Denver Broncos defense which we've seen this team make really good offenses struggle?
Yes. I think it's important that whoever has the hot hand and has the best vision that night needs to get the ball more. Whether it's Chris Rodriguez, whether it's McNichols, whether it's a combination of the three, you just need to have some type of running game going. And I think mix it up a little bit. Get some 2 tight ends in there and try to get this thing a little bit mixed up and keep them guessing on where you're going. And I think where they're going to probably have the most success, they don't give up much, man. Like this Broncos team is like, they give up 3.6 yards per carry. They believe they're like first in that regard. They're third in yards per game at 88.5. So they don't give up much. But I think your best bet is to run that thing inside because they're going to have some of their big guys back. I believe you talk about Surtain, but Alex Singleton is also going to be back. And this guy I think he's got like 4 or 5 sacks. And they do a really good job on defense of really keeping the contain. They don't break contain much at all. They're not sloppy with that. Guys are very patient. I think you saw a little bit of that if you looked or saw the Chiefs game. There was a lot of that where you thought guys were kind of camping out a little bit instead of trying to round that corner. They just kind of got up the field and kept the contain and then kind of tried to push the pocket in and not give Mahomes those lanes between the guards and tackles. So I think they're going to do what they've always been doing all year, and that's keep the contain. And your best bet is trying to run that thing up the middle. And you've got 3 guys that really can scat. So let them, maybe it's a little bit of delayed draws that might help, but you're going to have somebody that's going to be willing to knock some heads, whether it's pulling a guard or whatever, to kind of get that first guy picked up. And these guys are so quick once they get in the hole that they can get themselves 4 or 5 yards of carry pretty easy. So I think that's where their success is going to be, to the inside. Outside, these guys are fast on the edges, and they have linebackers that are very capable of getting downhill and making plays. And their nickel corners are really great too at coming in not only on blitz. They're very they're not reckless. They come in with an intent, and they're very strategic in how they do it. They don't come in reckless, and they've been getting a lot of sacks as well. So it's going to be important. It's going to be very important for everybody to, just do what's smart. Don't try to cute them too much. They're a great side to side team, in that front 7.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's the thing. Like, this defense is going to be aggressive. Anybody knows Vance Joseph, in terms of his style of defense, he's going to bring pressure, man. Like, he's going to bring pressure. Luckily, he may not have to at times because of the cornerback play, and would they have all guys who can probably get pressure without sending an extra man. But 9 times out of 10, if Marcus is getting comfortable, he's going to bring pressure. So, and when you have a guy like Pat Surtain, who, I mean, traditionally could take one side and make the other side shut down shut down that side. So it's going to be interesting how Cliff Kingsbury calls this game, because this is going to be a Cliff Kingsbury game. This is a game where, in my opinion, he's going to have to show the world, because it's on prime time, right? Show the world why many believed at the time that he's one of the better offensive minds in the NFL. Now, this season has been very questionable, but very questionable. But this is a game where I feel like he has to remind folks that, all right, I was one of them. You guys spoke about me like I was one of them.
Yeah, he's got to be more creative. And I think it's going to help with Terry being back. But I also don't want to use that as an excuse, because there are players on this football team, and you just have to understand where and what they're good at, and then put them in those positions, and then use what those things are, and then play off of that. And I think hasn't done a good job of playing off of the talent that he's had out there. I mean, those young guys, what it was, Moore was out there. You had a couple guys come off the practice squad. Their hands were iffy at times, but they started to come on to where they were more consistent catching the football.
Yeah.
And you just have to do more to be creative to make them respect those guys. And we just didn't see a lot of that. There's a lot of straight dropping back and just kind of running average routes and average offense. And it really kind of puts your offensive line at a disadvantage. I think it puts your young cat out there at right tackle, Connerly, at a disadvantage, especially when he's been facing the best in the league every single week. He hasn't had a free week. And it just creates simplicity. They know where your guy's going to be, and they just begin to tee off on you. And so he's got to find ways to create different, looks as far as running goes. And he's got to find ways to be more creative in the passing game as well to get this team off balance. And that includes getting those tight ends involved in the pass game, whoever it may be. You're going to have to find ways to make this thing where it is not a guessing game, because of the last few weeks, this offense has kind of been pretty predictable.
Yeah, it's been very predictable. It's a bad. Conley has his, it's a rough one, right? When you are the reason why you're getting the best, because you got Larry Tunsil on the other side, so you're gonna rotate to your side. So when you have a guy, that's the gift and curse about having somebody as dominant as Larry Tunsil has been, is that the better pass rushers are going to be like, all right, well, we don't need to keep trying this side. Let's go to the other side. Let's go to somebody who's green, right? And let's see if we can let's get some play off of that. You know what I mean? Like, so it's not, and I feel like, he's supposed to struggle, right? When that happens, some of the guys, he's supposed to struggle.
I don't have a problem with him struggling at all.
Yeah, he's supposed to struggle with the caliber of guys he's been seeing, right? You don't expect him to win those matchups. Like, I've said this before. I questioned the draft pick personally, because I thought there were better players available. But the talent, but I also acknowledge that I think he'll be fine. I always say that. Like, I personally would have drafted somebody else. But also on the flip side, I was like, if I was going to draft him, I would have traded a couple spots back, and I wouldn't have got him at 29. That's just it. That's me though. But I do think that he will be. I think he'll be he'll be better in year 2, because he'll put more muscle on. I think in year 3, you'll get the real version of what he's going to be, regardless of what that is. In year 3, you'll get what he's going to be. If that's an all-pro player, that's an all-pro player for years. You're going to know in year 3 what he is, because he's going to have to. His issue will be I don't think he's athletic. His issue will be putting on real strength to go against these dudes. That's going to be his thing. Now,
that really is.
Yeah. Now, will that make him play a certain way? Will it make him stronger? Because sometimes people put on muscle when they're not really strong. They're not stronger. But if he puts on muscle and his base is stronger, then I think he'll be an all-pro right tackle.
Yeah, I agree. He just got to get stronger on the bottom. Bottom half. And like I said, this has been a tough deal for him, and it's not going to get any easier with Jonathan Cooper coming into town. It's not going to get any easier at all. And I just think help the man out a little bit. Like,
I agree.
Help the man out a little bit. And I think this team also does a good job. And that's where they're best at too, is running at people.
Yeah,
they're not really that great trying to get things outside, running outside, whether it's right tackle or left tackle. They do a good job running between the guards. And when they do that, they have great success. And a lot of times, check it. I mean, you've seen some of Bill's runs where he's bounced them outside after coming through the middle, and he's had a vision to take it outside and then get it upfield. So I think it's going to be dictated that way, and I think that's where you're going to have your success. Too much speed on the outside, and you're asking for trouble if you think that you're going to have success doing that. Now, maybe you might get some success with little bit of a jet sweep or something like that with Deebo Samuel, but those guys on the outside are going to have to block very well.
It's fast.
If not, it's dead play.
Yeah, I just think that play has been picked up enough already.
It has been. Hasn't really been successful.
Nah, it hasn't. They ran its course, and against the Broncos, a team that flows. You speak about that defense, the way that defense flows and how fast that those linebackers are. I don't even know if that will work. To be honest with you, they're just too fast on the edges. I'm kind of over like those plays, like the sweep plays, the Debo, the wide receiver screens. I feel like defenses have picked up on it.
Yeah, they have. They've read it. They've read it very well.
Very well,
that goes to show you how much you're using it too.
Yes.
And how creative you've actually been, because they know exactly what you're doing before you're doing it.
Yes.
I know you've seen it when the play happens. You already know that it's dead in the water before they got started.
Yeah,
and they know it's coming.
They know it's coming, and even it's like you're not even countering off of it. Like the sweep with Debo's coming across the field, and they do the pitch, and it's like you never fake it. Everyone knows now he's getting the ball. It's not he's getting the ball. It's never faked, and I'm like, come on.
That's been the thing. I think you said it right. There's no setup to a lot of these plays that are called. Last year, he would throw something out there, and then you'd see later he'd hit you with it once. He hit you with another variation of it again, and then sets you up and hit you with something else that looks like it, because that's what Denver does well.
Yeah,
Denver very rarely drops. But thing you notice with Bo Nix is Denver, he barely ever drops straight back. It is always a boot right or left.
Yeah.
He's very rarely dropping straight back. They do that I think most of this season that they've been in that position where he's kind of, attempting those outside of the pocket passes. I think it was like 62 this season. More than 12 of any quarterback. Like, that's what they do. If you watch this Kansas City game, that was something right out of the gate. That's the first thing that they did. They also run a lot of 3 wide receiver, but they do love when he's going to be booting out. They add those tight ends who block very well. They are a lot in 2 tight end sets. And when that happens, it's basically a max protect or guy chips, and then you might see that one tight end leak out, but it's either going to go short to JR or RJ, or they're going to try to hit a receiver right there in the flat on an out to the sideline, and they do it well. And it's not like they are a team that hits a lot of explosives. They will chip away at you, and then they test you. They get you thinking and sitting on those ins and outs and those shorts, and then they hit you with that boot again, and it's over the top. So they will test you. They will test you. They did it a lot against Kansas City. I think that was their last game before the bye week. They did a lot against Kansas City. I think the only thing that plays well, which it plays well if the defense does well, but
we're going to get to that. Go ahead. We're going to get to that.
It's they don't score a lot of points.
Yeah.
But they don't score a lot of points, but we give up a lot of points.
Yeah, that's that's depending on the quality of defense they're seeing, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, speaking of defense, we saw what Dan Quinn did with the defense with the mob overseas in Spain. Looked a lot better. I don't care who. I don't care where you stand when it comes to Dan Quinn. It looked and this defensive staff. It looked better compared to what we've seen in the past.
Yes.
Which defense adjustments are essential to this? You talked about Bo Nix and Sean Payton. Which defensive adjustments are essential to disrupt Bo Nix and this offense?
I think this team just needs to stop being. Nobody needs to be a hero. I think the biggest problem where this team's been caught out of position a lot is gap responsibility, especially in the front seven. Guys are trying to do too much. And I noticed something the last several weeks that I paid attention to defensively.
Yeah.
I saw a couple of the plays from Miami as well.
Yeah.
Why is it that the corner or the safety, you got a guy, they pull in a guard, you got the lead, you pull in a guard, and instead of shooting the gap, where there's a huge gap right there to take and meet the running back one-on-one, those guys run right to the guy that's the lead block and run right to him. And then it's like, okay, you're picked up. You could have easily gotten past that big guy. That dude ain't agile enough when he's coming up the sideline or near that side, and you're coming from out of the middle of the field. You can jet right past him to get to the running back, but you run right to the lead blocker. So now you're taken out of the play, and now it's, the linebackers are already out of the way. They've been picked up, so it's one guy to beat. I don't understand why guys are running right to a blocker when they are free. It's not like you're getting caught up at the line of scrimmage. You're coming from out of midfield to go get that. Go get the ball carrier. Don't go to the blocker and get picked up or get blown up. And now what would have been maybe 5 yards is now 15. So they've got to be willing and able to go after and have that mentality to go after the ball carrier and flock to that ball carrier. But they also can't be heroes and flee what your job is and leave major gaps where you're going untouched to 5 yards. You know what happens when you go untouched to 5 yards. You automatically getting 15.
Yeah, 15 automatic.
Even 15.
And with this defense, it's probably more because the tackling sucked too. It sucked too. Hey, oh yeah, what's going on, Burgundy and Gopher? Hey, what's good? Says the quarterback is using outside contain.
But this is not even the outside corner. This is like the nickel guy. When they play a lot of nickel, this is the nickel guy. He is free. He's not even on the outside. He's actually towards like the slot receiver would be. And instead of him going towards the back, he goes right towards the blocker. And I have seen other teams do it too, but no one more than Washington does this. And it's like, this guy's free. Why are we doing that? You're allowing yourself to be picked up. So I don't necessarily understand that bit at all. But this team played better, no matter what anybody says. That defense played better with Dan Quinn calling the plays. And again, this was never Dan Quinn's style right here. I think we all know that. In Dallas, he didn't have exceptional corners in Dallas, but he had guys who he moved around, and they always played downhill. Yeah, that was the thing. They always played with their eyes to the quarterback.
That's true.
And you have more success that way. But he also didn't misuse guys either, like we saw as well. So if they can keep their responsibilities and do your job, and most importantly, tackle. I'm tired of seeing people lowering shoulders. Look, man, they NFL players too. Like, this ain't high school, bro. You not lowering a shoulder on a guy and just going to knock a guy down. That you're going to get blowed up is what's going to happen. You're going to be a highlight reel is what's going to happen. So wrap a guy up and take him down. Like, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, he says he is correct in trying to shoot the gap. It's solved one. It's solved one of my. I guess it's one of my biggest complaints as well. Yeah. George, what's going on, George? Says, well, Dujunnea hoping for a good performance from Terry and the Commanders being competitive against the Broncos. Yeah, we all do.
Hoping that. Yeah,
we all hoping that, man. We all hoping that. Yeah, that's one of my complaints. I mean, I want your thoughts on this. I do think he's playing well. But also, it kind of proved my point that folks were like blaming individuals who it wasn't their fault. Like Jonathan Allen was getting a lot of blame last year about them not being able to stop the run or whatever. But I kind of like this year kind of proved my point that he wasn't the problem. Because Kinlaw is out there and Kinlaw has flashed. So it's no knock on Kinlaw. Kinlaw has flashed. Right. Period. So, like against Miami, he made some plays on the outside. I mean, on goal line plays. So Kinlaw's not a knock on Kinlaw, but like your thoughts on this run defense. Like, what is the issue? Because it's been 2 years now going, and even with Dan Quinn taking over, Miami still was able to do whatever against on the ground. So what is this issue? What is the issue in terms of their run defense?
They're getting manhandled up front.
Mm-hmm.
Like you got and especially in the run game, you have to get some sort of push. And when they do get push, it's so reckless. I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
When they do get push, they're reckless.
Yeah.
They blow right by a guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's no control. You blow in, and what ends up happening too, they bait this defense into this too.
Mm-hmm.
So they'll have an opportunity where you might see them get pressure and they make a sack.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they'll give you the same look that looks like they're going to go pass again, and they give you a run. Well, what do our guys do? They bum rushing up the field with no control, and next thing you know, the head's turning and the back's gone. Now he's at the second level, and Luvu, be honest, and that was a great point. Luvu and Wagner just haven't been, especially Luvu, not been that great.
Yeah.
As far as once that running back gets to their level, they haven't been great at bringing guys down.
Yeah.
And the tackling in that front seven has really been a detriment to them being able to have any type of success of slowing down that run. I mean, 4.7 yards a carry is not good at all. And they are dead last in both yards per carry. And I believe it's yards per game as well. They're dead last in both of those. And 4.7, y'all can do the math. If I hand it off twice, I'm darn near close to a first down, if not a first down. So you're not doing too much in that regard. What they did do with Miami was there was a lot of bend, but there wasn't a lot of break. And they did a good job within the red zone of keeping them out of the end zone. But you got to be able at some point, and I felt like they did in Miami. They gave the offense a couple opportunities.
Oh, definitely.
To be able to win that game, and the offense pissed down their leg.
Yeah.
And so at some point, both units have got to be able to complement each other. But it definitely comes down to the linebackers playing better, being more sound, and they have to be more controlled with their rush. And the guys up front have to be able to make a tackle and disengage and be able to get off of their blocker, because I don't think they do a good job of that as well. Like once they get caught up, and if they have to go and try to make a play on the run, they're just, I mean, they're locked down, they're chained up, can't get out. And they have got to do a better job of trying to disengage from their blocker to be able to make that transition to stop the run.
Yeah, I have more like I feel like, you know, I think you're being really nice. You're real, like Dujunnea, you're a real nice guy. I feel like, you know, people are like, one, I don't think I know folks can say whatever about Bobby up there in tackle. So Bobby doing his job tackling wise. Yes. I'm not really worried about Bobby tackling in the run game. I'm not. I know, like George said, the linebackers are too slow. That's the issue. That's not a tackling issue with Bobby. Like that's not a problem. Yeah. But the run is not a problem. But that's not a problem with Bobby. Bobby's more in the pass game. I'm gonna be real. Yeah. That's been
his liability.
That's his liability. That's it. Well, when he was younger, it wasn't. You know.
Wasn't.
Yeah, when he was in Seattle, he was
not.
Yeah, when he was one of the better covering linebackers when he was younger. But now, right now, like you're saying, at this point in time, like that's a liability. But I would say any older linebacker, you asking to guard a B. John Robinson or Gibbs, you're gonna lose that. Man, you lose that matchup if you're younger, to be real with you. But
100 times out of 100.
You know what I mean? But or if you're taking a wide receiver, you're gonna lose that matchup too, right? Like chances are. That's a whole coaching situation. I'm not gonna get into that right now. But I will say this though, like the reason why I'm saying you've been real nice, because I just think that Frank Louvu hasn't been playing good at all. And in terms of playing the run, like I feel like he's been running with no real purpose of making plays. Like you look at that play where HN get caught and he was like down, he was behind the line of scrimmage, like 5-6 yards deep. Louvu pursues, but it's like he running without a plan. Like he just running wild without trying to make a true, like I'm gonna say not trying to make a play, because obviously he was trying to make a play, but it's like it was just like it was no thought into making it was no thought in the process. I'm gonna be honest
like
with you.
Chase Young out there.
Well, no, see, I gotta stop. Look worse than Chase Young. Chase Young can play the run.
Not I'm talking about in Washington, Chase Young, not what we've seen in
even that, that too, but even the Chase Young against the I know you're talking about. But this is worse though. I ain't gonna lie, this is worse though.
This is worse.
Yeah,
it is worse.
You're right though. I know you're talking about like just let him run by you. He looks lost, man. That's what I'm saying. Like you're right. I know what you're talking about now. Like but this is like he is lost. Yeah. Like he is lost in
he hasn't been in position a lot this year, man.
That's the thing, man.
They have. It's the same thing. It's the same thing what they were doing with Marshawn, and a lot of that was not his fault because they're not playing him. They were not playing him how they played him with New Orleans. Mm-hmm. I don't know why you don't do that. I mean, good coaches understand what their players do well, and you put them in the best position to be successful. And they are going at him. And Frankie was a disruptor and everyone's behind last year. Yes. And he is a non-factor this year.
Man, he is so
It's wild.
The drop off is wild.
Difference, man.
The drop off is wild.
And it's noticeable.
Yeah.
It is very noticeable. He is a non-factor. It's like Oos is not Oos.
No, he ain't
not oosing.
He ain't oosing. He is not oosing. It's crazy. Like that's the thing. Like I remember because I was hearing during the broadcast like of the Miami game, which kind of was starting to annoy me. I ain't gonna lie to you because Vilma kept saying, Louvu the best defenseman on Washington. And I'm like, dude, have you been watching the games or are you just making this up? Like, did you watch his last year's clips? Are you like dude, Jonathan Vilma, when you were healthy, you were one of the best linebackers in football at your time. Like when you was healthy, he was one of the best out of you. Was an awesome middle linebacker, bruh. This season, this dude has probably been one of the worst defenders on Washington's defense.
He has been.
Like like you said, decline is crazy. Just think about this, Dujunnea. This man was actually on the top 100. That's the decline. That's how bad his decline has been.
They were calling his name just by every other play last year.
Bruh. Crazy.
He was involved in run and pass. Dude was all over the place. I mean, he was like a lightning bolt out there. Yeah. You blink and there was Frankie.
Yeah.
Now it's like we waiting for him to show up. He's like a shadow out there.
It is true. Burgundy and Go for Life said that play is a matter of effort. Defense is effort on that play. At that play you were speaking on 11 men to the ball, and it's not. But the better teams like Denver will bring 11 men to the ball. Yeah,
that is a very good point, and I think that's something we haven't seen all year. It's a lot of individuals out there, but last year it was like a swarm of hornets.
Yeah, it was a gang mentality.
It
was a gang mentality.
This ain't it. This ain't it. It's guys are playing spots.
Yeah.
And they're looking around for the help. And it's like, no, you go be the guy that creates the problem, and then the help should come.
True.
But even when that's another thing too, though. Like when guys do make the play, it's like everybody looks around and it's like, okay, he got him down. I ain't got to get involved. Because I think we had a play this year where guy really had him down, and I think it was in the backfield.
Yeah.
Should have been a stop, and then all of a sudden, because they kept playing, he slips out of that guy's grasp and gets more yards because everybody else is standing and looking at him like, flop to the ball. I don't care if it's 3 or 5 men piling on. Y'all got to go and be like a swarm of hornets and get on these guys. And we just don't have that. It's a lot of individuals out there. And you're right, man. It's an 11 men to the football type of mentality. We haven't seen that mentality from this football team.
Man, we haven't seen it in a while. And I mean, I felt like we did see it on. I thought we saw it more in Spain. That's why I was mad at that one play. Because I felt like a lot of guys did get there, but the one dude like gave him an outlet to get out of the backfield, which I was like, come on, bro. Like, what are you doing here? It was so frustrating because that's the disappointing part of it, is because which to your point, Dujunnea, it's like, dude, last year, like you were smacking dudes, man. Like you were smacking dudes, creating turnovers, creating havoc. Do you feel like, and this is a question about Louvu, do you feel like Louvu lost some confidence? Did he play like like a man that's not confident in his
A
ability
lot of
anymore?
guys lost confidence.
Yeah.
But I also think it's what they've been asking him to do all year. You saw Marshawn lose confidence.
Yes.
I think you even saw Mikey lose a little
Oh,
bit
I
of
definitely
confidence.
said, like, yeah, I definitely. I think he played a little better. He's probably. I think outside he looks more comfortable though, because against the Miami game he looked good. He looked good
That's
outside.
where he belongs.
Yeah,
that's where he belongs.
Yeah.
I would have put Amos in the slot. Love him where he can play a lot of places, but I think for right now to get the best out of Sanders still, that's where he needed to be.
Yeah.
And a lot of guys have lost a lot of confidence in this thing, man. And it's unfortunate. I hate the fact that I feel like it got to the point before he got demoted that I felt like Joe lost the locker room completely. Guys just were not buying this anymore. And it wasn't just that game, that final game that was straw. It was 7 weeks ago. It should have been done. He was given enough time. And here's my thing with that. I don't mean to get off on a tangent.
No, go ahead. No, good. I just want to say I agree with this, Santiago. Defense had confidence for the first time since game one.
That was, and you saw that from them. You really did see a lot of confidence from the guys. They were playing more like a bunch of brothers out there, than they have been. Yeah. And
but Dujunnea, go what you wanted to say. You wanted to say something. I want you to go with that.
I'm just saying that you can't, as a coach in Dan Quinn, I understand your loyalty, and that's one thing that I give Dan a lot of credit for. But this is called the league of not for long for a reason. And you, as we all know, if you're a manager of people and you have a guy that's performing piss poor and really is a liability to the squad, and you just going to continue to let this go on, your manager going to have something to say to you about that. And if the performance continues, you going to get written up. It ain't them. They going to get theirs. They already know they performing poorly, but you're going to get written up now. And you lose jobs by doing that.
Facts.
Okay? And because at the end of the day, they're looking at you. You're the head coach. You're the one managing these individuals that you have put and allowed to be in place. And when they're not performing well, especially with what the team did last year, I feel like Josh and company are being very patient because this was unacceptable for it to last this long. And it should have been nipped in the bud 7 weeks ago. And you might have seen a different outcome, and they may have a few more wins on their docket. Will the struggles be there for what this team is dealing with? They basically dealing with an injury pandemic. I mean, yes. But I think this team played some games where they scored enough points, and the defense was just absolutely atrocious. How many times can you watch your guy put people in positions that are just not helping them be the best player that they can be? You're making them look like you're making Adam Peters look like an idiot for bringing some of these guys in because it's the way you're playing. So I think if there was a change early, and I think Dan Quinn needs to be more of an asshole in that regard. Because at the end of the day, it's the same thing that happens to you there. And it was a combination of things in Atlanta, but you can't be, there's certain things where you cannot be Mr. Nice Guy anymore. Because at the end of the day, this is all going to fall at your lap. You continuing to do things like this, and they're watching this, and you are the head. And the head takes the fall for a lot of stuff that may not have been their fault, but it is your fault because you allowed it to go on. So they have got to do more. He's got to be a little bit tougher. And I think if he makes this move early, man, we might be looking at it different. Maybe 500, maybe a little under 500. But I don't think you see a 3-8 football team here because most of this defense had lost its confidence completely. And once things got, once you had that, oh, here we go again moment, y'all know exactly what we're talking about. You saw the defense just kind of, it was a heads hung down, and they had that feeling, here we go again. And there's nothing we can do to stop it.
I like this comment. Said basically, Dujunnea, it's like they aren't watching film of the offenses they are playing. It seemed like it because everything It seemed like it because everybody kept doing the same thing against them. They never changed it. That's how I knew that there was a problem. That's when I knew there was a defensive. It was a defensive game planning problem.
And you know where it started? Dallas Cowboy game.
You think so? I think I would go. I would go further back than that.
It probably. I
think the Atlanta game. I think it started the Atlanta game.
Yeah.
No, actually, I would know what. I'm lying. It started the Packers game because everybody did the motion play.
That's right.
It started the Packers.
When they blowed them up with them tight ends.
Yep.
Everybody was like, okay.
That motion wide receiver. Yep. They ran that. Yeah, it started.
Murdered.
It started that after the Giants game. It started right at that Packers game. That's where exactly it started. That's where it started.
And you lose 1 or 2 games, man. I get it, but like this team was in the NFC Championship game, and sometimes you got to drop the gauntlet a little bit early. Yes, that one kills me. That one kills me.
Mm-hmm.
And there's that play in the Dallas game where was it CD? He was kind of in the slot a little bit, runs that seam and that little post right there. Guys are looking at this man run, and there was a whole bunch of miscommunication before it ever even got to the safety's problem. It was everybody in front of that's problem before it got to the safety. And it's like, what were you looking at? And if you're talking about communication, then if that's what we gotta do, and we're talking, it's communication, then we talking too much, and we not reacting enough. Yep. So, and we saw that change in Spain. I think you saw more reacting and let people less thinking. They were playing and not sitting here thinking about where they needed to be and thinking that they have help and thinking that they have this. It was a lot of reacting in that game. And if they can get that going here at home, I don't know how many fans are going to be there to kind of make this thing I hate that.
That's a good question. That's a good question. That's a good question.
To make this a home game and to not make this where this Denver Broncos offense is going to be comfortable. But if they can get that comfortability at home, and the offense can come out and at least try to get in the 24-point range, I think they have a shot. Because this offense this team is not a team that is unstoppable. There's no team, unless you want to talk about the Rams, and the Rams are kind of they have a couple things where you can see that they're not like a juggernaut. So
against this team,
they would be.
This team, they be a juggernaut.
They would be. Yeah. But this team hasn't shown that they're not crazy explosive.
They know how to win. They're very simple.
Bludgeon you all day.
They know how to win. It's like similar, similar to what I know people. It's similar to like Chicago. You know what I mean? Like they just know how to win games.
They don't wow you. They just kind of bludgeon you to death.
Yeah, exactly. So, but on the flip side, their defense is a little bit more stout, right, than Chicago.
Yes.
But I think they're very similar in that way. Like to your point, they're not prolific of an offense. I think depending on the defense, they're prolific, right? Depending on if they're playing a bad defense, they're prolific. But if your defense is playing a solid game, you have a chance. Like the Giants had them like shut down for a minute till they exploded. But the Giants also like their defense isn't great, but they're a bad. We're a bad team too now. So let me not do that. But you know what I mean? Like I get what you're saying. You're saying like. They're a team they're a team that you look at and say you can beat them even if you're struggling.
Yeah. I mean they really aren't. They're not going to wow you at all. And when you look at the games, they don't wow you, but they just kind of methodically move the ball down the field, and they will take their shots. They will take their shots deep to either will connect, or they will take their shots deep to make you respect it.
Yes.
So that they can still get those things to the outs. Those little things that they like to run to get the ball in the middle of the field. They also like to get the running back out. It's not really even in the flat. They kind of just run them out there, and it's kind of sit in that little spot where you would have your slot receiver at 5 yards. He throws it over, and then it's make a play and make somebody miss in the open field. And usually guys got their backs turned anyway, so he's already going to get 10 before it's realized that he's even got the ball. That's something that they do a lot within their offense, and their tight ends block so well, man. Like you just have to be sound on that deal. But I think it's also a thing of Washington's offense is going to have to keep the ball a little bit and tire out their defense and allow their defense to get rest, because we all know what's happened when they've had to go out there repeatedly and try to make stops. And at some point, they're going to give up something. That's just who they are right now.
My man, the burgundy and gold for life says, how can the best player get the ball in big plays without being double teamed? At no time did you ever feel that Wick took away the best players of the other team. Bruh, I've been saying this for a while, bro. Like, that's what bothered me about him. Like, there was no attempt. I felt like there was no double on the best player. Like,
no,
the best player played against Washington, they got work. Like, at least try. Like, I would rather have the number 2 wide receiver or whatever get like beat me.
Right.
There's no way that the best player, like, unless you like, obviously some players you just can't stop. I'm not going to act like you can stop even in a double team, right? But I didn't see a play where, like, oh, if it's a wide receiver, this dude was one-on-one with the corner. Like, no, I don't want no, that shouldn't be a thing.
No. And these guys were scheming up stuff to where they were getting one-on-ones with the
linebackers. Exactly.
They saw it. They saw what they were doing. I don't know why there weren't any adjustments made, but these teams were scheming up to where they would get the matchup with the linebacker. Mm-hmm. And they knew every time they get their best player that ball with the linebacker, it was money.
Yeah, that's what bothered me. All right, folks watching the stream, make sure if you're on any of these YouTube if you're on YouTube, please like this video on either platform. If you're on Dujunea's channel, the NotBland Show, or the Urban Sports Thing, hit the like button. Also subscribe as well. If you're on YouTube, if you're on Facebook or either X, hit the like button as well. If you're watching the stream there as well. If you're on IG, hit the like button too. See, truth be told, what's going on? My guy said, I want a competitive loss because so I can enjoy the smell of what the mock is cooking. Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, man. Hey, the mock. Hey man, the drafts are awesome, man. The draft. Look, man, draft. Hey, everybody know what I stand with the wins and losses. I look at the Tim Duncan effect. Keep losing, baby.
Yeah.
Give me somebody, give me a Tim Duncan-ish type of player. I'm good with it. I'm gonna go back to the offense a little bit. Marcus Mariota. How you talked about he's been serviceable, but how can Marcus Mariota sustain some drives against this disciplined defense?
You got to stop having him drop back. You can't be like Cliff been pass happy. Mm-hmm. It's like you'll see him do some running, but he's been real pass happy with Marcus. And I don't want to see any design quarterback runs right out of the gate. Like, let's get our backs involved, and you have got to find a way. We should, within the first scripted plays, there needs to be some shots to Terry. Like, not sitting here, chilling. Yes, I want that guy.
Yeah,
sure.
Exactly.
I want that guy.
Exactly. I'm just saying. I'm saying.
I don't want to see this nonsense of like we just gonna go everywhere else, and then it's like usually maybe you might get 3 plays, maybe you get 5 plays, and we're punting. No,
yeah.
I want Terry to touch the football within this scripted drive, first scripted drive. I want them thinking about him being used. And then when they see that he's going to be involved in the offense, because they already know Debo's going to get the ball.
Yeah,
they know that. Okay? And you got to find ways to get Zach Ertz clean catches. Because Zach been doing work, but Zach been doing work being under the gun. Like, he knows he's going to get leveled when he catch this ball. But you got to find ways to get this man some work and get some easy catches where he can, make some guys miss, mush mouth some folks and get some extra yards. But you got to spread this thing around. But I need to see Terry involved ASAP. We ain't going two series and you only done taking 1 shot to him or tried to get him involved in the offense. Terry's runs exactly none of
we said this earlier. We saw about it.
Slants are something Terry is more than capable of doing. It does very well.
Very
Marcus
well.
throws a great ball, and we got to start running slants and start running these dumb bubble screens that get locked up and blowed up for negative yards. Can't have that. Can't have these negative plays. And getting Terry involved early is where the success is going to be. Because if you go back and think about the interceptions that Marcus made.
Like that,
he was
trying to make a Miami. I know.
Yes.
It was a dumb interception. I'm sorry.
It was a dumb interception, but he's forcing the football.
Yeah, he's starting to get there now.
He's trying to make a play.
Yeah.
Because nothing's happened.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you don't want Marcus in that position.
I agree. I think that's where Marcus needs to. But I will say this: that's what Marcus needs to get out of his own way. That's when.
Exactly.
That's where Marcus won't be successful. Like I think Marcus has been successful for Washington is because he lets the game come to him. That's why he's been good for Washington. You know what I mean? Like you look at the plays where he tried to make a play, like the play had that long run and he tried to hurdle and he fumbled. Like that's being extra. Like that interception he threw, like that was being extra because there was no, he was trying to fit the ball somewhere that it wasn't open. It wasn't open. So yeah, I think to that for them to sustain drives, Marcus got to just let the game come to him. He's actually got to be more of a point guard than a freaking trying to be a leading scorer, right? He has to be more of a point guard than a playmaker. So he has to facilitate. He has to kind of know, I'm gonna take this. The same thing you talk about Bo Nix, what they do in with the Saints. I mean, when I'm Saints, with the Broncos, dink and dunk if you got to. You don't have to go for the big explosive play. Take what the defense gives you because you're going against an elite defense, man. Take what the defense gives you.
Yep. I just and this team is number one in sacks, bro. They 49 sacks on the year. Their quarterbacks percentage in that is 41.3%. So let's not be stupid and basically give them the game because that's what they want you to do is to be pass happy. And that never votes well. 25 sacks on the year through 11 games for Washington. They've got to do what they need to do. It's actually 27 sacks through 11 games for this offense. They've got to do what they need to do to help their guy Connerly to not get teed off on and to be some creative to slow these guys down and make them think about it a little bit because this front four does an excellent job. They're not going to give you much when it comes down to lanes in running this football. They are not reckless rushers. They contain very well. So you're going to have to put in the work as an offensive coordinator to get these guys flowing. And, we've seen it in games with their previous game here with the Chiefs. There were times where they were able to get work. And, but at the end of the day, that's because you're putting in the work in running the football and keeping things balanced and not just allowing them to just know that, hey, you're going to be passing the ball and we're just going to tee off. Too many times this year, Cliff Kingsbury, early in games, when the game is still in hand, goes to a play calling system that acts like you're down 21 points. It's like, bro, we down 10 or we only down 7. You got 3 on the board. This is still a game. It's only in the second quarter. What we doing? If you we gonna come out and just throw it all over the yard on the series, go 3 and out, and then be like, hey, can you try to save us? No, you put them at a disadvantage. Why put them somewhere where you know that this is not where this defense has been good at? So do your job as the offensive coordinator and help your defense out a little bit. But it help your offense out too by not going into pass happy mode. He's got to stick with the run a little bit more because when he's been feeding Bill, when he's been feeding Chris Rodriguez, McNichols, eventually they start chipping away. You start seeing more and more bigger runs. You start seeing them bust 1 or 2 for big gains. You got to be committed. And if they can be committed to that, especially in an environment that should favor you, you're at home, no excuses. Like, need to be committed to this run against this defense. you better be committed to this run. It's going to be a long, long, long night.
Will Harris it looks like Will Harris will be
Yes.
playing tomorrow as well. You talked about communication. This has always been a thing I've heard about. Like Will Harris is needed back because of communication, safety play. I am kind of excited to see Will Harris because I feel like the body of work doesn't dictate for me to know what Will Harris is or not. He got hurt in the Vegas game. Am I correct?
I believe that was the Vegas
He
game.
got hurt in the Vegas game, and the only game I know of substance that he really played well, like we talking about played well, because everybody played bad against the Packers. The Packers was doing work. Was the Giants game. So I don't get into and the Giants. That was Russ as the quarterback, and that it is what it is. I'm sorry, I'm not going to like. I'm not giving anybody flowers for what happened against Russ. So we're gonna get to see him. I think it will be good to see what he's really capable of. Because again, I get a lot of people talking about like he's a difference maker, and for me, it's like I ain't all the way there personally.
He hasn't shown that in Washington.
Yeah,
with New Orleans, he definitely was a difference maker.
Okay.
In New Orleans, I thought he made great plays on the football. In the passing game.
Me too. I thought he was okay.
Great interceptions made. He's a solid tackler as well.
He's a good tackler.
And a physical guy. At his position. But you saw flashes here and there of that, but you never really saw that. But I don't know if we can. I don't know if we can judge a lot of these guys on what we saw in the first 7 to 8 to 10 weeks because it was very, very generic defense that I don't know whether you're adding complicated schemes within it, but it wasn't working and nobody looked good within that defense that Joe Witt was calling. I mean, he was saying all the right things, but that was boo-boo on the field.
That was trash. I'm interested to see it again. I'm really excited. Like to your point, I did see good things from him. So I'm not acting like I didn't see good things from him. I was impressed with some of how he played certain plays, certain passes, like in terms of one-on-one coverage. I thought he was really good. Against it was a tight end. I forgot which tight end it was, but he played. It was against the Packers actually. Yeah, against the Packers. And the red. I want to say it was the red zone, and he like tipped the ball away. I think he does have good coverage skills. I don't know. Again, I don't know because I wasn't against what Reeves did in coverage. I like what Reeves was doing in coverage. But I'm also biased. I like Reeves a lot. But we'll see. I'm interested to see what he's gonna bring to the defense. Yeah, because you always hear like he had the mic, like he had the mic, he had the mic. He was the one that he had the headset, like right.
Yeah,
he was the one
making the calls
and whatnot. So we're gonna get to see. We're gonna see like if that was a big thing.
Like Dexter Manley says, not consistently.
Not consistently. I know, right? I'm trying to figure it out, like, because I don't look at Will Harris as like, there's certain players when you're missing a player, you're like, oh man, that dude's a difference maker. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's levels to it, right? Like,
at times you can say this year Reeves has outplayed him. I mean, that's just being honest. I mean,
I thought Reeves has played good. Like, I don't think he's bad. He's outplayed Martin. Like, if I had to pick between the two, the guy who needs to be benched, it'd be Quan. And I like Quan a lot. But Quan would be the one that needs to be benched because Quan hasn't played well. No. So, like, if I had to say what, but I hear the argument all the time, like, well, Quan's struggling because he doesn't have Will Harris out there. And I'm like, all right. But we'll see. Like, we'll see. Yeah, because the guy, I don't look at Will Harris like he's like Kyle Hamilton for the Ravens.
Right,
I don't look at him that way. He's not that type of player for me to feel like, we're missing Will Harris. We're missing one of them.
We don't know that.
We don't know that. And I think the body of work says that he's solid, he's good, but he's not that player. You know what I'm saying? Like to be look at the contract you signed him to. It lets you know that he's not that player.
Right, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
you saw he had potential, and that's what the contract dictates.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
it's to your point. Like when you missing the Terry McLaurin, you're like, all right, because that was your number one wide receiver, right?
Right.
So you do believe that or if you're missing Jaden, you should struggle. Like theoretically, you should struggle. Will Harris, I'm not going to be like, we're missing Will Harris. That's why we suck on defense.
Yeah,
like,
I can't say that.
I can't say that.
I like what he did with New Orleans, but that's New Orleans.
Yeah,
here we can't say that. We haven't seen enough of that yet.
Yeah, and we'll see how it works out. But I'm just like, that's to your point, Dujunnea. Like, yeah, I gotta yeah, that like we can only assess them off of after with the Dan Quinn calling plays.
Yes.
You know what
I
I'm saying?
think this is where we get some true looks at some of the guys that are out here. And honestly, I like to see more of the young guys get some opportunities. And what do you have to lose? You're 3-8. You're basically playing for a draft pick now.
Yep.
You know, I understand you want to finish positive and finish on an upswing as we close the season out, but you know, let's see what you got. You know what I mean? You got to start thinking of, you are thinking about next year now. You got to start seeing what you have out there, with offense and defense, and who's going to be retained and who's not. You know what I mean? And that's really what it boils down to. I also think that, you know, what we've seen earlier, like we got Vaughn, and Vaughn is still that dude to be able to get, you know, pass rush, whatever. And he was barely used with Joe Witt. And it was an obvious downs when he was used. Like everybody knew what he was in there for, and they prepared for it. So, and he still has a pretty good bit of sacks for the year, though. But like, he's not being used the way that we would have thought that he would. You know what I mean? It's not creative. They knew exactly when he was coming in.
I like Vaughn. I don't know. Like, I guess I've been judging Vaughn off, to your point, off of what he's been doing with Joe Witt. He had a sack in London, right?
Yeah,
I believe a sack in London. We'll see. I want to see how. You know what? You do bring an excellent point. I've only been worried about. I'm not gonna lie. I've only been worried about Mikey. With Dan, but maybe I should be looking at everybody as a whole. I mean, Frankie's like, I ain't like what I saw with Frankie. I like Jordan McGee. I've always liked Jordan McGee. So I've been
attitude. He's relentless to the he's relentless as far as the pass rusher. He's
as a Broncos fan.
Yeah. Okay. What's up?
I'm cool. I appreciate it. I always appreciate it. Hey, Broncos fan, follow the stream while you're in. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the subscribe button, bro. Go ahead, dude.
But you know, I feel like he needs more run, and he's bringing that attitude, and he's playing with some of the things that have been preached through the year, and really has been preached, you know, since day one. He's shown that consistently out there. So I'd like to see those guys be able to get run. Let's play the best players, and then let's get the rotation correct. And I think you can do those things and keep guys fresh and put people in the position so where they're doing well, then I think you can see more success out of this defense. Because I don't think this defense is that horrific. I mean, again, after the guys they brought in to kind of solidify the rotation got dropped because of injury, you're basically down to what you had last year. So you mean to tell me you can't duplicate that from what you did last year? That, again, that's coaching. That's not the player's fault. You know what I mean? Now, you can fault them for certain things, yes, but when you start looking at a lot of things that went on, that's coaching. And it showed in Spain that this had to do with a little bit of coaching here, because we started seeing some things that were not materializing all year long.
Look, I said this last season. I had questions about Dude in last season, and carried over this year. I thought, again, I had more of an issue with, you know, he got demoted. I mean, he's been demoted, so I'm not trying to pour on the individual, but I had more of an issue where all this talking bravado, like you are one of them as a defensive coordinator, and your team is one of the worst against the run, period. And against the pass, and the reason why you're not bad against the pass is because everybody knows they can run on you. Therefore, they don't need to throw the football. So when they did decide to throw the football, like you saw the Eagles game, the Eagles did some work. The Lions, even though we had like a bunch of turnovers in that playoff game, they still had a bunch of yards in the pass and in the run. I mean, on the run, they were killing Gibbs. They kept running Gibbs, would have lost that game. I am a believer in that.
It was Ben Johnson who lost that game.
Yeah, facts. So I don't think, like last year, I didn't believe in this team, this defense last year in terms of the play calling. Like, you know, I thought players made plays. We are below last year in Spain. We played better. Yeah, I actually thought in Spain that was just awesome. I wrote, like, The pass, it was good against in Spain. I mean, obviously, I still had issues against that run defense is like bad to me. I don't know what, but
The
I'm gonna be
tackling is
fair.
just
Well,
horrific,
to
man.
be fair, Dan Quinn's run defense his last year in Dallas was bad. To be fair,
That's true. That's true because they dominated a lot on. They were able to get pressure with their front seven, which kept the corners that weren't great. They did not have great corners or safeties.
I agree with you.
They didn't have to cover as long.
Yeah,
but they did. You could gash them with the run.
You could gash them with the run, but you're right though. But that's always. But to your point, Dujunnea, that's always been Dan Quinn's strength. Is that's the secondary part of it, right?
Yeah.
Seattle, Atlanta. It was good in Atlanta too. People want to talk about Atlanta was solid. His strength has always been all right, I'm gonna get off the field third and long. My cover 2 or cover 3, I think it was cover 3 they run, or cover 3 or cover 4, will be okay in the system.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So yeah, man, I'm with you. I do think that you're gonna see better play from this defense. And this is a good point to Burgundy and go for Payne wasn't out there too. So we'll see. Maybe that will make a difference for this.
That's right. He was
game.
Suspended for that game.
Yeah, so maybe that'll make a difference.
Didn't agree with that.
Yeah. Oh my God, don't get me started on that one. So for your Dujunnea, give me your keys for the Commanders to kind of pull off this upset, because it will be upset if they win. That's not
definitely good. Will be.
Yeah.
Offensively, maintain your balance and make sure that we're getting Terry involved. Mm-hmm. Those two things are going to be key offensively, because I think, the slander with Terry, there's certain things I don't agree with Terry, but the slander when it comes down to who he is as a player, fans been y'all been ridiculous on that.
Oh, they've been horrible, bro.
It's disrespectful.
It's very disrespectful, man. I'm serious. It's been.
Let's cut the bubble screens out. Let's get Terry involved. I want to see Terry first play. If you're gonna run the ball, first pass play needs to be Terry, put foot in the ground, quick slant, get something, boom. Let's roll. And me personally, if I'm them, I come out and run turbo right out the gate. No huddle. Don't do, just run turbo. Y'all been good at it all this long. Let their defense stay out there. Work them. Really. But I need Terry getting the ball. I need balance all day on defense. Tackle. Good Lord, just tackle somebody. And let's not try to be a hero. Play within the confines of the defense. Don't get out of position and give free lanes and go after the football. Because I'm tired of seeing guys, they ain't going after the football. They going after the lead blocker. They going after the guy that's blocking out front. Hell with that. Run right by him and get the ball carrier. If you miss getting the ball carrier, I'll be less mad than you going out here and getting yourself bottled up and then depleted and then leaving what would have been maybe a 4 or 5 yard run. Now it's a 15 to 20 yard run or more, and we don't tackle them until they get inside the 5.
Oh yeah, you muted Dujunnea? I can't hear you right now. But yeah, I can't hear you right now. But I'll say, hold on, we got here Max Claire. Dujunnea still can't. Are you speaking, Dujunnea? I can't hear you. Folks, I know y'all can hear me.
There we go.
There you go. Got you. All right, got to hear you now. Max Claire on the bubble might be something next year. Tight end. I'll say this. I don't have I ain't gonna lie. If you want to run a wide receiver screen to Terry, I'm cool with it, because he can take it to the house. We saw it against we seen him do it against the Lions or whatever. Because I felt like when they got Debo, they stopped doing that. They went to Debo, and I get it. Debo's a guy, but people they're looking for that now. So now you can run that with Terry, because it probably be because people are more. They're believing more that's going to Debo. If you run that to Terry, you got an opportunity for a big play. Don't forget, that's always been a staple with Terry of getting big yards as a wide receiver screen. So that's an option too. And Debo can block. I mean, I feel like, to your point, Dujunnea, there are things you can do to get him going quick. That slants. I would feed him early, but also I would my thing is to
force it.
Don't force it. But I will say this though. I'm not even sure. I would be like, go to like run the football. Like I know it's an old school thought process. I know. I'm sorry. I get it. I know new school football. They want to air it out, but you got like I keep saying this on the show on many platforms. Reporters, coaches have said they've said they love the running back room. Well, act like you love it.
Exactly.
Like act like you love it then. Exactly. You know, you got rid of B-Rob, you know what I'm saying? And said like we still in love with his running back room. All right, let's do it. Because last year y'all ran the ball more with B-Rob here. If you love it so much, run the football, especially when you don't got your guy. Like you don't got 5 out there. So why would you feel like you're more inclined to throw the football when you don't got 5 out there?
Exactly.
You should be more into. You should feel that you got to run the ball even more. To be honest with you,
that's gonna help your offensive line out.
Yeah,
I think this offensive line blocks well when they're running the football well and on a consistent basis. Sometimes you might not be getting, maybe you only get 2, but when they're attempting to run the football, this offensive line plays a lot better. When you start getting into, we're gonna chuck it all over the yard. That's when Connerly starts, he's getting abused because he's young, going against the best. You're not even trying to chip the guy he's trying to block, and you just put him at a disadvantage.
Agreed.
And you're not helping him. So run the football. When they do that, this offensive line just tends to play a hell of a lot better when that run is involved and heavily involved within the offense.
I totally agree, Dujunnea. So, hey, Dujunnea, man, appreciate you being on, my guy. This was dope.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, man, we'll do it again, man. Before we end this stream, how can folks catch you on social media and catch your content on social media platforms? How can they just check? How can they catch everything, bro? Like the show, everything. Hold on, we got one comment before I let you go. Before I let you go, Dujunnea. Ball is life. Hold on the ball. Our O-line is better than the Giants, and the Giants open the playbook. Time of possession will be huge. Get Bill loose, no turnovers, make Denver one-dimensional. I totally agree with all of that. All right, Dujunnea, how can folks catch your content?
You can find me on Twitter at NotBland21. I'm NotBland21 on everything. You can catch me at the NotBland Show. It is at the NotBland Show on YouTube. We have a Facebook page as well, the NotBland Show, that you can follow us there. You can catch some of my written work and our colleagues with Sports Journey, Connor Forrest, Bob Matthews, who does all of your Commanders, post-game and Commanders stuff for us at sportsjourney.com. We appreciate your support there. And, go over to the YouTube show, like, subscribe, share, become part of the NotBland family. And make sure y'all doing the same thing here. Wole is doing a lot of great work for you guys, having, family on with, C Wole and all the guys at Burgundy and Gold, everything, like, get involved with what they're doing. Like, some of the best stuff that you're going to find here, honest, unbiased, talk about your Washington Commanders. Definitely make sure y'all locked in here.
Yeah, I thought Bland was Stephen A. Smith for hot take. Look, don't do that to my guy, man. Man. Y'all know I don't like Stephen A. Smith.
I'm better.
He's better than Stephen A. Smith. I know I don't fool with no Stephen A. Smith. Y'all already know what time it is. I'll never have a Stephen A. You know what? I will never have a Stephen A. Smith on my show. Even if I made it big, I won't even lie to y'all. This one dude I do not ever want to cost. I don't care what kind of benefits it does for my life, man.
Exactly. Absolutely nothing.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
give me Dan Orlovsky.
Give me Dan Orlovsky before I get Stephen A. Smith, bro. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie to you. That dude is don't get me started. I'm out there. I'm not going on my tangent. Hey man, I appreciate everybody for pulling up, man. You guys are dope, man. Y'all already know I really appreciate all of y'all. I think George had a couple comments. Let me put it out there. Said, yeah, this is a good one. Tavia Pritchard going to Stanford. He is it takes an internal candidate for OC if Cliff leaves. Yeah, I mean they say Blau.
I don't think Cliff can leave now.
Oh, I think Cliff can leave.
You're right, because there's always somebody that's willing to be desperate. I agree. Al Harris was really the guy.
Yeah,
but
defense,
Jerry Jones was like, "You already done stole enough from me. Yeah. We ain't letting that."
Well, Jerry Jones, Jerry, he's out now. He's in Chicago, so
yes, sir.
They're allowed to get him because he'll be a move up. Because right now, I think he's still a DB coach. He can be the defensive coordinator here. So I do think that is that there is an opportunity there in terms of. I actually think it's a sign that Cliff's going to go. Actually, I kind of think it's a sign he's going to leave. But that's me though. I could be wrong. I have a feeling that Washington will be if he is fired. I know somebody told me there's talks that they're not trying to fire Mike McDaniels in Miami, but I do think if he is fired, I can see him coming to Washington. I can really see it. Like I can.
Some
really
guys are just better coordinators.
Yeah,
man. It's just how it is.
I don't think he's
better coordinator.
I don't think he's a horrible coach. I don't think he's just ready to be a coach. I think he just got to be a little bit more mature if he wants to be a head coach in this game.
Agreed.
I think he is an offensive. He is a I think he believes in players, but I think it's very important. I do think he motivates because his belief helps players play better. So I do think he does have that knack for him to be a head coach.
Yeah.
But I do think he has a little bit more maturing. I think
Cliff needs to go to Miami if he's going to go somewhere.
I think Cliff needs to go to college.
Yeah, that ain't bad either.
I don't think, to your point, Dujunnea, I don't think a pro team is going to want him. I do agree with that. I think a college team would want Cliff though. I think you have teams out there.
Ole Miss, maybe Florida.
Florida, Ole Miss, LSU, Penn State if they wanted them. Like they're dudes.
I forgot about Penn State.
They're like Cliff has a brand of football that is popular. His brand of football is popular, and he can always say, "I've coached Jaden Daniels. I've coached some like Caleb Williams. I've coached the guys, Patrick Mahomes. I've coached all these dudes." He has that. He has that in his back. Like if he want to get a top quarterback, and to your point, if he want to go LSU or Florida, where just your backyard is hella talented.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So. And Cliff wants to be a head coach. That is a thing.
Like, he definitely wants to do that.
He wants to be a head coach. I just don't think that an NFL team right now would want him. So if his goal is to be in the NFL, then he'll stay. He can stay as the offensive coordinator. If his goal is just to be a head coach somewhere, then he can go to college.
You're gonna make more money in college. Anyway.
Hey, there you go. And that's the thing too. He'll make more money in college right now.
Even if you're not successful, they still got to pay you out. So you gonna have big contracts, man.
There you go.
Yeah, the money is there.
Yeah, the money is there. All right, folks, man. Appreciate y'all pulling up. I appreciate Dujunnea, man. He was dope. Anyway, you've been listening to the Urban Sports Thing for ages. Yeti deuces. We are out. Peace.
Swag.